Coming up on this edition of Carolina Insider.
We committed approximately $10 million to modernize our network.
How your connection on campus could be reaching higher bars. Grab your tickets, the state fair is back, and your safety is a priority. But first, your street parking rates might be shifting gears. Carolina Insider starts now.
Hello, and thank you for joining us. I'm Clarissa Meier. Our top story today, if you drive to campus and use on-street parking, there's a new change coming that could affect your finances. According to WLTX, the City of Columbia is considering raising parking rates from 75 cents an hour to $2 an hour. The city hopes to raise money to improve infrastructure and maintain parking areas. We should know whether the plan passes once you're back from fall break. That's not the only change coming from city leaders. 9 years in the making, a plan to restore the Columbia Canal is getting underway. The 2015 thousand-year flood damaged much of the city's water infrastructure. The recovery project will repair the canal's headgates, which will cost $12 million, fix the embankment, costing $60 million, and add a new pipeline for water to flow from the Congaree into the treatment plant. The Resilient Water Supply Project will cost $46 million and is set to begin in December. The other work will start next August. If you're looking to take a walk along the Congaree, the Casey River Walk is set to partially reopen to the public. Phases 3 and 4 of the Riverwalk will open this Friday. Phases 1 and 2, which are farther south along the river, will remain closed until further notice. According to WLTX, the Casey Parks Department has spent over 200 hours cleaning and repairing the trails since Hurricane Helene. The sandbar, a favorite spot for students, has been picked up by the flood and dropped directly onto the trail. This is the largest park cleanup since Hurricane Joaquin. It's that time of year again. The South Carolina State Fair is back, and fair organizers say your safety is the priority. Here with more on that story in today's fair scene is Ansley Peterson. Ansley?
That's right, Clarissa. Like many of you, I headed out to the State Fair for college night earlier this week. Hundreds of students were shuttled to the fairgrounds on Monday. Students took advantage of the discounted rates, and some students went to experience the circus, the petting zoo, and rides. According to the State Fair's website, 400,000 people attend each year. To make everyone feel safer, they've implemented some new measures this year. There is an updated youth admission policy. This year, anyone under the age of 18 is required to be accompanied by a parent after 5 p.m. At all of the fair's entry points, metal detectors are being used to scan for weapons. Only clear bags are acceptable for entry. Law enforcement will be on the grounds each day from open to close. And of course, safety measures are top of mind after reports of shots being fired at the Orangeburg County Fair last weekend. Back to you in the studio, Clarissa.
Thanks, Ansley. Back here on campus, the University of South Carolina has started updating its internet network. As Amanda Baranowski reports, the outdated network has some students struggling to get connected.
In places like Gambrell Hall, students at USC use Wi-Fi, but the connection can be unreliable. Sophomore Gracie Corns has to use her phone's hotspot in the building to use the internet on her computer.
The Wi-Fi isn't terrible, but in buildings like this, I can rarely get it to work.
The university says that outdated wireless networks continue to be troubleshooted, with many of the routers and controllers over 13 years old, and devices that create local wireless networks called access points 7 or 8 years old. Funding by the university president's office pays for the network's improvement.
We committed approximately $10 million to modernize our network and replace older equipment.
As some renovations for the networks began in 2020, the updates are still in their early stages.
I think we're not, even by the end of summer, won't be halfway done.
The renovations are set to continue for the next 3 to 5 years, with the complete renovation planning to add over 6,000 access points on campus. For Carolina Insider, I'm Amanda Baranowski.
The USA women's rugby team won its first Olympic medal this past summer, making women's rugby one of the fastest growing sports in the United States. This year, the USC Women's Club Rugby team is celebrating 10 years of the program. This week, fans gathered on Bluff Field to show their support for the team's first home game of the season. And it's not just college students interested in the sport. In a recent interview with the Daily Gamecock, sport and entertainment student Lily Zellner said to keep the club growing, they're creating a clinic for local high schoolers to learn more about the sport and its gameplay.
I think it's really cool that they're able to do this and have a lot of fun with it, and that there's this many people that have got to come out and support it.
A supportive fan base is important to the team's success, creating an electric atmosphere for players to thrive in. With posters in hands and cheers in the stands, the bleachers were packed with families and supporters. The Gamecocks dominated the Citadel 80-0 and are looking forward to another successful game against Florida next Saturday. That's it for this edition of Carolina Insider, a student production here in the Kennedy Greenhouse studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communications. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you here back next week.